Hello guys, welcome back to another repair work video, and today I will be disassembling a Hot Pockets brand sandwiches. This is a pepperoni variant of the famous sandwich, and I will show you how to fully disassemble it, all pepperonis out, and no screws. Alright, let's get started. First we gotta take off the sleeve. This is pretty easy. I suggest you pull down instead of up, otherwise you see these ridges here can get caught on the pizza and you don't want any damage happening to it. So let's pull back and flip it over. You'll see four size slotted Phillips head screwdrivers. So we'll take a screwdriver and we'll just unscrew these. Alright, we'll unscrew them. Now this might be a bit tricky because the plastic they use on Hot Pockets are very, very thin, very malleable. So it might take a little force to get them out. Alright, so just take these out. Okay, so what you're going to need to do next, get a spudger and an opening tool. An opening pick, I'm sorry. Open the sides like this. You're going to want to get this side. You see it's already starting to open a little bit. So get the corners, slide it down each end, each short end of our Hot Pocket here. Alright. So just make sure it's going to open. Get a phone opening suction cup and just it doesn't look like this one will work. So instead, I'll grab a pair of tweezers here. I got a pair of tweezers, and we'll open it this way. Okay. Be very careful, guys. I don't want anyone to get hurt. It's pretty hot, especially when it comes out fresh from the microwave. Okay, so you'll see here the pepperonis are scattered on the right hemisphere of the Hot Pocket, much less on this side. You see 3 screws. Now, when assembling the Hot Pocket, Nestle company did not really want to put any screws inside the mechanisms because, you know, it might damage the surface a little bit. So just unscrew this one. This one is the main screw. Another slotted drive screw, 4 size Phillips. It should not be that hard to take out. It's actually giving me a little trouble here, so I'll take my tweezers and perfect, comes out with the pepperoni. So remember, guys, to always sort the pepperonis when you pull them out. Okay, so you don't need to get any of those screws yet, this one in particular. So just start pulling out the surface layer of pepperonis. Just put them in a bowl for later. Now, if you're going to have any trouble with any of these pepperonis, just remember, just use an opening tool, pull it up a little bit, grab it with the tweezers, and then let it out. Do not brute force any of this. None of the surface level pepperoni should be damaged at all, because during reassembly, it might cause some issues when you're consuming it. So at this point in this stage, you can unscrew this little black screw here. It's actually it's not a 4-size Phillips head, by the way. It's the only one in this entire kit. I don't know why they didn't decide to make it 4-size. So be really careful when you're handling inside here. You do not want to damage the case or the cheese. The cheese you don't need to take out. But since we're doing a full disassembly here and you're not replacing any parts, this is not a parts tutorial, I'll take out the cheese. It looks like this has been holding down that's beautiful, guys. Alright, so remember, 1 bowl for pepperonis, and since we're doing cheese too, 1 bowl for cheese. Now I'll get this in range for you guys to see, and I'll take out the rest of the surface layer of pepperonis if I could find any. Yeah, Yeah, there we go. Oh, big one. Remember guys, before you take out any of the cheese, make sure you get all of the pepperonis. You do not want to take out the cheese before the pepperonis. Now if you get a little cheese caught on the pepperonis, that's fine. They're all wired together in a certain way that, you know, they're all connected to a certain pepperoni. Okay, so once you're confident, give a little rundown. Don't move any cheese too much, just enough so we could detect a pepperoni hiding amongst the cheese. Once you're confident, you can start removing the cheese. Now I highly advise against this if you're just like replacing a battery or a few screws. So, guys, remember to stay grounded in this part. So we'll put on our ground wire and connect this to any metal object in your house that can conduct electricity. So I'll connect this to my lamp. Remember to stay grounded. We do not want any short circuiting, any bad handling. So now we're going to start taking out the cheese. Now for the cheese, you're going to want to be very precise. So I'll show you a close-up view of taking out cheese. So we'll pull out a large pair of pliers and a metal spudging tool. So we'll take the spudging tool and the pliers. So just shovel the cheese up. You could pick a little bit underneath, like this. Pull it up, hold it, and just slide it into the plate. Okay guys, so make sure to be really careful when you do this. You could easily damage some of the mozzarella they put in this. The mozzarella is very fragile. So take the cheese. Just remember to keep them organized. Remember where you put the cheese. Now, I'm not going to reassemble this one. I'm just gonna toss it when I'm done, because it's unless you're planning on using the Hot Pocket any further after removing the cheese, which is a bad idea to begin with. Then I suggest you just throw it away. I'm just pulling out the cheese. I'll show you guys how to do it properly. Now this is just the cheese on the right hemisphere of the Hot Pocket. The cheese on the right hemisphere is really easy to remove. But on the left hemisphere, you can see that they're layered in a certain pattern. Well, looks like I missed some pepperoni. Sorry guys, I've been really tired today. So I missed some pepperoni here on the left hemisphere. It's okay because none of the circuitry only goes over as much as the cheese does, so this one's a pretty good model, so there's not much overlap. But while we're at it, we might as well remove some of this cheese here, connecting the two circuits. Just like really careful guys. Just slowly remove the cheese. Keep it organized, by the way. Do not mix it up. I know I already said that, but I cannot stress how much you need to organize it. So, get this part too. This part here, it's a common discrepancy, especially in ham and cheese. And the Italian sausage models with jalapenos, the cheese peels like this, and you could easily tear. So you guys have to be really careful whenever you're removing the cheese on the left hemisphere. Just remember. See this? Let me zoom in a little before you guys get this into view. Okay, you see this piece of cheese here? You see that? Yeah. Remember, just peel it back. Peel it slowly, and it'll eventually come off. Alright, cool. Okay guys, so here is the main area in the left hemisphere that contains most of the cheese. This one is pretty difficult. It's the same maneuver basically as the left side of the left hemisphere. You take out the cheese slowly and carefully. No. Guys, also remember that if you get a little too much pizza sauce onto your spudging tools, remember to just wipe it off with like your sleeve or something. That it evaporates pretty quickly. So, all right. So since I've come this far, I usually don't. It usually takes a lot longer than this. So I'll just more pepperoni. I'm doing kind of a bad job right now. You don't need to get all the small pieces of pepperoni. They're not that important, but remember to get all the big ones. Okay, so you got all the sauce. You got your two organized bowls, one with cheese and one with pepperoni. And okay, so what you're gonna want to do next is take your metal spudging tool. You could put the pliers down. Take the metal spudging tool, and you can start scraping off the sauce. Because if you want to keep the shell, then you're gonna want to take off the sauce. The sauce is it's like a flux. You don't really need to. But if you want to keep it for some reason, then you just throw it in with cheese, you know, because it's made of the similar. You don't need to keep the sauce. So just scrape it off, and there we go. A full disassembly. Cheese and meat components all out like this. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. I would appreciate a subscribe, join the notification squad, leave a like and a comment down below. Share how you would disassemble this one. Now, it was a pretty difficult disassembly, but I'm pretty proud of how it came out in the end. So, alright, see you guys later.